Hello, my name is Dr. Delio Del Rio. I will be serving as the professor for your level college BSCM 3351 New Testament Interpretation book, the book of the Gospel of John. This video is going to serve as a bit of an introduction, helping you to get prepared for our first day of class, which is starting in just under 2 weeks on March the 27th, on Monday night, March the 27th at 6 p.m. So we'll be meeting at First Baptist. I know most of you, I think, have taken classes before, but just in case, we will be meeting at First Baptist Church of Brandon in our usual room. And I sent an email. I'm attaching this video link to an email that has several items in it, and so I wanted to kind of just give you a quick video to explain it. I will not be going over the entire course syllabus and what the course is all about in this video. I'll handle that on the first day of class. The purpose of this video is, again, just to prepare you for one assignment you need to have and to have ready for the first day of class. So two things I want to mention to you in this video. Number one is the textbook. As I said in an email I sent out the other day, if you haven't already ordered this textbook, you need to order it ASAP. The New American Commentary on Brochert. Brochert is the author on the Gospel of John. It's 2 volumes. See, this is the third one. Volume 1 is John 1 through 11. Make sure to get both volumes. In your syllabus, there are other couple of books that are recommended. Those are unnecessary. If you're on a budget and don't want to buy those further recommended books, you don't have to. This one, Volume 1 and 2, is the main textbook for the course. So make sure you get that. If you haven't ordered it already, go ahead and order it. Get it as soon as you can, because in a week and a half when you walk into class, there is an assignment due for the first day of class. So make sure to get the textbook. Now, as I've said before, and as some of you have taken my other classes, this is, as I've said before about the Brandon format, is all level college courses are what we call hybrid courses, which means they have an online component, a Blackboard, we use Blackboard, and an in-classroom component. The classroom hours only equal 16 hours. We meet 4 times, four Monday nights for 4 hours a night, so that's not a lot of hours. So we need to hit the ground running with the first day of class. The first day of class is not just an intro class. We're going to start handling things on the Gospel of John. We have to make the most of that first class day. Now, so in your syllabus, you'll notice that there's one part of the course is made up of what's called group worksheet assignments. I think is what it's called in the syllabus. That's the assignment I want to address in this video. In the email that this link is attached to, I assigned each of you, according to the syllabus, I've assigned each of you a passage. It'll be in the text of the email for first day of class. Part of the structure of the course is made up of group assignments, and so what I'm doing is splitting the class in half, and half of you will get one passage, the other half will get another passage. And I know it says group assignment. Don't worry about the group aspect of it for this first day of class. Just do it individually. We'll talk about the group aspect as we move forward during the first day of class. So for the first day of class, this group assignment is just do it as individuals, okay? And it's called the worksheet assignment, I think, in your syllabus. And that's what I want to take a minute and address. Also, in the email, there were a couple of things that I attached. One is a blank worksheet. A blank one-page worksheet in a Word format, and the other is a sample worksheet. Go ahead and download that. It would help you to have that up and available as you watch this video. So each class period, each group of students is going to be assigned at least 1 to 2 passages in which you're going to do an exegetical worksheet on. That's what that blank worksheet is. It's just sort of gives you a little bit of format on things to think about and insights and stuff to work out in conjunction with your passage that you're assigned. So I gave you a sample of what this worksheet is all about. I did it on passage John chapter 2 verses 13 through 25. You'll see that there attached to the email. That's just my sample to give you an idea. What I did was I took a passage that's not assigned to any of you, and I did a sample worksheet myself. What you're going to do for the first day of class in each class is I'm going to give you assigned passages. So half of you watching this video right now are going to have John chapter 2, I think verses 1 through 11 or 1 through 12, something like that. And then the other half of you are going to have John chapter 3, the Nicodemus scene. Whichever passage you're assigned, you're going to be doing this worksheet on that passage. Okay, and you need to, for the first day of class on the 27th, you need to come into class with a worksheet done on your passage. So let me explain what the worksheet assignment is. The structure of the course is such that in the 4-hour block, I'll be doing some teaching, some lecturing, but I don't intend on lecturing the entire 4 hours. This is an exegetical course, which means that we're going to work together through the Gospel of John. The worksheets help to facilitate that. So there may be times in which I do some teaching, a little bit of lecturing, maybe have some PowerPoints, but the bulk of our 4 hours is going to be conversation that we have around a table, so to speak, about the various passages of that week. So I expect you to come to class with the worksheet already completed on your passage so that you as the students can help lead some of those conversations, can lead the conversation on those passages. So for example, for those of you assigned John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11 or 12, I can't remember, I think it's verse 11. There's going to be a portion, when we get to that point in the class, I'll say, okay, let's look at John chapter 2, in verses 1 through 11, the turning the water into wine scene. And I may say, okay, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, you were assigned that passage. Go ahead and lead us in a conversation. What kind of things did you gather about that passage? And really, it's just a conversation. Don't think of it as a formal presentation or anything like that, although it'll be a little bit like that. But it's not really a formal presentation. You're going to lead us a conversation based on the work that you had done and observations you made. And I'll chime in along the way and be a part of that conversation. And I'll have things I have no doubt to add along the way. So let me explain. That's why this is so important. That's what the classes are going to look like. So let me explain this. So you'll see in my example, or in the blank sheet, that there are basically 3 parts, 4 if you count text. At the very top, you'll put your text there, the text that you've been assigned. Oh, and by the way, let me say, the format I'm not super worried about. This is not, you will be turning these in. I don't care if you handwrite them out. I don't care if you typed mine out because I like to work that way. But you do whatever makes comfortable for you. The idea is that these are going to be you're going to keep these. And these will be your moving forward. The goal is that we get through the entire book of John, and you should have a lot of exegetical notes from the class, from your own research, and be able to put your own notebook together on study of the Gospel of John. So that's kind of the idea. This is for you. Even though I will grade it and we'll look at it together in class. So I'm not really worried. Don't worry about Turabian format. This is not a paper. This is just a worksheet made up of notes, exegetical notes, and observations, and maybe questions or points of topic that you want to bring up in class on your assigned passage. You're going to, so what you'll do is you got the text at the top, the very top there. Then you'll see on the sheet there, keywords. So pick out 1 or 2 keywords. You see, I've just chosen one, and that's the word sign, which is used in verses 18 and 23. And I went to Ioannina and a few resources and I made some observations myself. I gathered some information from the textbook, from the NAC, New American Commentary, and I pulled some other commentaries that I happen to have on John. So I encourage you, use your textbook, but use other resources. If you have other word study tools, if you have other commentaries on John, utilize those. If you don't, everybody has access, and in class on our first day of class, I'll be sure to talk about this a little bit. Everybody has access to the NOBTS library online article system. There's a whole library of articles that you can access online from home from your computer, and I'm going to encourage you to use these resources. You want to be doing this worksheet, you want to use your textbook, this commentary, but you want to use more than that as you can get that are available to you. So I picked one word, pick 1 or 2 words on the word study, do some work with it, see what your commentator has to say about it. Maybe look up an article on the word or something like that, and just see what and some of it may be your own questions or observations as well. Think of this as a worksheet, not a paper. Okay. The second part is cultural background. So you have a passage assigned. You may want to pick some aspect of the social setting or background that might be important to interpreting. So what keywords are important to interpreting the text? Pick 1 or 2, or however many you want, really, but at least 1 or 2. And then in the cultural background, pick 1 or 2 topics that you think are the most significant. So with my passage in John chapter 2, verse 13, the entire thing takes place. John says at the during the festival, the feast of Passover is approaching Passover. So I decided, you'll notice there I have a bullet point with some notes that I brought out from some commentaries about Passover and some of the ways that might reflect on the passage. Then the last section is exegetical notes, and you see that bolded and kind of underlined there. And you see on the second page of my sample that I've worked out a bunch of notes on just basic observations, things I've read from commentaries, things I've gathered along the way, and some of them are my own observations. So exegetical notes are just interpretational notes. Think of this as a worksheet if you were preparing to teach or preparing to do a sermon. These are your notes and observations and questions and things, research that you draw from various sources. These these worksheets should probably end up being about 2 pages. The length of it, I'm not, if you go over that, that's fine. I'm not really concerned about that. You just want to be able to bring enough to lead conversation sufficiently on that passage. So some keywords, some cultural background issues, and some exegetical notes from the text as you work your way through the verses. So that's the nature of the worksheet assignment. Again, you can type it up. You can handwrite it. You can print up the word, the Word document as I have attached it to this email. Print it up and write in. It's totally up to you. The blank worksheet template that's attached to your email is also in Blackboard as well, and I'll show you that first day of class. I attach it to this email to make it easy for you. So over the next couple of weeks, you need to be reading through the assigned passages for the first day of class. Look at the syllabus. First day of class, we deal with the introductory material, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. And you want to see whichever passage you're assigned, which will be indicated in the email. You want to start working in over the next 2 weeks, read those sections and do a worksheet. So when you come into class on the 27th, you'll have read all that material and you'll have completed a worksheet for your passage and ready to engage in conversation. So I encourage you also to bring some blank papers, things like that, as I imagine based on our conversation and things that I might throw in, you may want to add to your notes, to the things that you found. So again, you're only doing this worksheet, not on every passage in the syllabus, but only the ones you're assigned, okay? So if you have any questions, be sure to, don't hesitate to email me, call me, text me, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can and help you along. All right, looking forward to first day of class, excited about it as we dig into the Gospel of John. See you then.